We are going to Cleveland with Sheduer. It finally happened, guys. Let's talk about it briefly here on this episode of Alpine Garage Sports. Man, I tell you what, it finally happened. Wow. I didn't even do a live yesterday because I thought, with as long as these processes are for going through an entire draft, especially going through rounds 2 and 3 yesterday, I didn't want to sit and just talk about all the other players that are going because some of them I really like, some of them I don't know anything about. And I was making a joke on another live yesterday about how some of these guys that are being taken before Sheduer have played, I think there was one, what was he, a defensive tackle that only played, or maybe he was a tight end that only played 5 games last year or 4 games last year before he got injured, was taken before, and a guy that I didn't even know his name was taken before Sheduer. But we'll go into all of that tonight at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're going to go through this entire process, all the shenanigans that happened with the prank phone calls and the party that they threw and what happened with the teams and why did he not get drafted until the 5th round and all of that other stuff we'll talk about tonight. But for now, we're just celebrating the fact that Sheduer got drafted because there was a, hey, Patricia, how are you doing? There was a lot of conjecture out there that he was going to go undrafted. And I obviously did not believe that. In fact, I tried to defend that because there's no way that a talent like Sheduer is going to go undrafted. Whatever happened, and we're going to talk about that tonight. But he fell to the 5th round and was finally picked up. And I think probably one of my favorite things about this is the fact that when they showed a clip on Instagram and on X that was showing Sheduer and Shiloh's reaction and the family's reaction to him going to Cleveland. And honestly, when I first saw the headline, I thought, I'm going to click on this and it's going to be them pumping their fists and, maybe have a little bit of disdain or whatever that it took so long. But man, they were doing a dance. All of them were, to the point where I think they might have got caught off guard a little bit because it looked a little Charlie Brown, if you know what I mean, right? If you watch the Charlie Brown kids dancing, it looked a little bit like that. And so I have a feeling, I know these guys can dance, right? I've seen them dance. They were so happy and so caught off guard that they basically just pulled out anything they could do. I think I saw the running man in there. I mean, there was so much, but they were so happy that he is going to have an opportunity to go to Cleveland. And all of the other stuff, all of the baggage that comes with this and all of the extra things that are going to be happening now that he's going to Cleveland, we're going to go into later. I'm not going to go into him now. I promised myself we are first going to celebrate the fact that he got drafted, and we're going to talk about it on this live for just a brief little bit. And then I'm going to pull everything together for tonight. And we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly that happened during this entire process and what it looks like for Sheduer going forward, because getting drafted in the 5th round means something different than getting drafted in the 1st round. And I'm not just talking about money. Right now, it looks like where he's at, his contract's going to be about $5 million. That's over 4 years if there's not a 5th year picked up. And that's going to come out to roughly a little over $1 million a year with a little bit of a signing bonus. Now, that could change a little bit here or there. Looking at the 2025 salaries, that's where he is pegged. So we'll see what happens with that whole thing. And, money's not a big deal right now because Sheduer has money. His Cleveland, I'm telling you, they're going to show up for endorsements. He is going to be making $10 to $12 million a year, I think, at a minimum, just with endorsements, because he is who he is. Dylan Gabriel was taken before him. Dylan Gabriel's endorsements not going to be anything like that, even though there's going to be a giant quarterback battle, because in that room is a mess right now, guys. You have Flacco, who's won a Super Bowl, right? And he is the age-old veteran that could take, Cleveland to a winning season and all of the narratives that have come out, right? You've got Dylan Gabriel, or I should say let's not forget about Deshaun Watson, who is a mess. It's a mess altogether. So we're not even going to the Deshaun Watson thing because he's not going to make it into that room. You've got Kenny Pickett, who came over, and Kenny Pickett's a good quarterback, right? He's a good I'm going to call him a sturdy quarterback. He didn't light up anything, did really well in the NFL. And again, one of those veteran-ish type guys as well. And then you got Dylan Gabriel, who was taken before Sheduer for some unknown reason. 5'11", I think he's 5'11", 200 pounds. He doesn't have the stature that Sheduer does. And they said Sheduer's size was not all that great when they were talking about NFL comparatives. What about Gabriel? I mean, Dylan is like, he's tiny by comparison. But being an OU fan as well, I'm used to seeing him play. I saw him recruited. I saw him play at the University of Oklahoma. Plus, obviously, we saw him at Oregon last year. And there's one thing that he is he is a fighter. He is a fighter. He will absolutely fight till the last drop of blood is out of his body. And we all know that Sheduer is going in there with a lot of confidence, much better accuracy. Obviously, in my opinion, a better quarterback than Dylan Gabriel, and also a lot of dog in him too. So there's going to be an all-out battle, guys. 2 vets, 2 rookies in this camp trying to save a franchise that has quite honestly had fallen off of the face of the earth. And we'll go into way more. We're going to dive into every little arm of this tonight, guys, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So please join me there. But I'm going to look into the salary. I can't remember at this point if 5th round is guaranteed or not. I don't know that it is a guaranteed contract. I think they have to make it through camp. I got to look into that a little bit more. I'm going to look into that. Maybe you could look into it too and bring it in tonight. But I don't think this is going to be much of an issue for Sheduer because there is no way that this organization is going to let him go. Once he's in there and he establishes himself during training camps and things like that, and they see the quarterback battle that's going to ensue, I honestly feel like Sheduer has an opportunity to at least be a good, solid backup this year. Maybe having a year to kind of get under his wing, as it were, with these other 2 veterans that are there. But man, he might battle them straight out. And they got nothing to lose to start one of these rookies this year. They have nothing to lose. Like the Browns have 0 to lose, which is a great position for Sheduer to be in because these teams aren't sitting behind a quarterback that took them somewhere and they're afraid to let that go. They went nowhere, and now they have a bunch of new guys that are going to have to take them somewhere. And Sheduer has just as good a chance as any one of these guys, including Flacco. All right. I'm going to tell you that right now. I like Flacco. I think he's a great quarterback at the end of his career. I just don't know, guys. I think the shine of Sheduer could absolutely derail this entire thing that the Browns may think they have going, which is, these veterans coming in. But that said, Cleveland has set themselves up for success in the quarterback area, right? They've sucked at quarterback. This team has a tendency to eat quarterbacks and spin them out. But at the same time, you've got 2 vets, you've got 2 rookies, all of them good, all of them fighting for a starting position. I cannot see. Plus, they got some really great talent on that team to begin with, especially on the defensive side. And with Mason Graham going in there, now their defense is even better than it was last year, and their defense was pretty good last year. I don't see how the Browns can't battle for a division title this year. And I know that sounds weird, and I'm not a Browns fan at all. Like probably the lowest on my list. I didn't want to see Sheduer go there, but now it gives me an opportunity to be a Browns fan. And so I'm going to be a Browns fan this year, guys. I am. I'm a Broncos fan first, which is, tough. But at the same time, I'm going to be cheering for the Browns because I really want to see this team do well, especially with Sanders in there now. So what have you guys got to say here? Let's go through this real quick. I'm going to do this as a quick live. I've got something that I had to jump away from and I got to jump back into again. But at 6:00 tonight, I'm going to have everything for you, like everything lined out. And we're going to go through A to Z, start to finish, how Sheduer got there in the 5th round to Cleveland, everything he had to go through and what he has to go through now going forward and what his opportunities are. And we'll do that tonight. Dollar Bills is in the house. Flacco back up to Sanders. That's a very distinct possibility, guys. I don't know that Flacco is going to like that too much, so there's going to be a battle out there. But once Sheduer gets in there and he shows them more than his interview, and throwing to a random receiver and in the warm up drills and stuff like that he did with the team, I think that he's going to shine. And I don't think Dylan Gabriel is even in this conversation. Love you, Dylan. I don't think you're in this conversation, bro. Fans want to win now. That's right. They want to. They're tired. That's one proud franchise, one proud fan base is Cleveland. I don't know that there is probably a more devout fan base than the Cleveland Browns fan base is. And I'm excited for them. They got a great draft this year. Super excited to see. Regina says, Patricia, hello. Max says ESPN made a mistake and showed he was drafted at Cleveland before the commercial break. Well, you know what? This thing goes fast in the 5th round. Like, they have 5 minutes to do this. And so everybody's just clicking and clacking and they're going nuts trying to get these picks in. Regina, I hope you will show them all that he is a great QB. He will. Happy Saturday, Regina says. So we have a lot of you in here right now. Mac, I am still in my feelings about the draft mess. Yeah, it was a mess, guys. It was a mess. And I don't even know. I didn't really do any kind of information on this. I didn't go live talking about it or anything like that because I didn't want to talk about that stuff until he was drafted. Now that he's drafted, and that is aside, and he is on a team, heck yeah, man, let's put this stuff out there so people can see it. See what happened to this, and let's drill this thing all the way down to its root. On my Instagram, or not Instagram, I'm sorry, on my X, my Twitter, it's Alpine Garage SPT, Alpine Garage Sports. Look me up. I actually put a video up there, and it hasn't been vetted or anything, but it sounds and looks authentic of a Ole Miss. I guess you could call him a frat guy, but an Ole Miss student that had prank called Sheduer. So again, I didn't vet it. I just put it out there because it looks authentic, and you guys can make a judgment for yourselves. But we're going to talk about that tonight because that was a big part of this, right? It wasn't. They didn't push him down in the draft or anything like that. It's just they're trying to put a bad light on Sheduer. And I'm telling you, now that he's been drafted by Cleveland, it's all going to get erased. So we will talk about that more. But thanks for coming in here, guys. I will see you at 6 p.m. tonight. Congratulations to Sheduer and the Sanders family, whole Sanders family. And now we're looking for more buffs to get drafted. So keep your eyes glued today, all the way through the 7th round. Another one will get taken. At least one, probably two will get taken. That's a wrap from Alpine Garage Sports. And I will see you tonight at 6 o'clock.